Guys, welcome back to my channel, and this is chapter 85. Now we all are caught and I'm excited for that. Okay, out of the pan into the fire. Let's read it. It was safe to say not everything had gone according to plan. Mrs. Applegate marched back, Awa and I to the principal's office like lambs to the slaughter, shaking her head the entire way. Principal Jennings talked ahead of us, his steps forceful and measured. He opened his office door only to stop short. What in the hell have you done? Oh no. Mason and all looked like they had almost made it out. They shuffled just past the doorway as Principal Jennings fumed. Everyone sit down immediately. The five of us sat, and I had a brief flash of the way I had felt at the police station. At his desk, Principal Jennings sat fuming, his fingers stippled. My eyes went straight to the foul smelling stain coating his shoulders, and I fought back a smirk. Even if we got caught, we got him back, at least a little. We waited until Mrs. Applegate had closed the door firmly, before finally breaking the silence. Vandalism, incessantly unruling behavior, breaking into my office. Someone had better start talking. Carefully, the five of us eyed each other. Okay. No one was quite sure what to say. Jennings probably suspects we are onto him, but if I could throw him off the scent, he might go easy on us. But we are the only ones in the wrong here. If I play a little hardball, maybe I can scare him into letting us go. Well, I should try to throw him off. Play hardball. You want us to start talking, cause if we do, you are gonna have a bad time. On the other side of me, Awa and Mac leaned in. Addie, what are you doing? Just go with it. I have a plan. You better. I straightened up and locked eyes with Principal Jennings. We know everything, so you are gonna wanna be careful about how you talk to us. Everything, Why don't you tell me what exactly it is you think you know? All the eyes in the room turned to me, and I swallowed hard. Fine, Mason told us you bribed someone for his college admission, and we suspect he's the not only one. The real question is, what had you do with the proof? Principal Jennings cracked a smug smile and sat back in his seat. That's a very serious accusation, Miss Price. But if there was any proof, I know better than to leave somewhere so obvious. And the only reason you had staged this little heist is if you had nothing. Principal Jennings slid his office phone across the desk to me. So go ahead, pick it up, because I am willing to bet the only thing getting called is your bluff. Spoken like a true crook, you had a plenty to say about me. Meanwhile, you have been a cosplaying as a bad villain this whole time. Without a word, Principal Jennings stood, walking around the desk and coming to a stop directly in front of Noah. Noah's entire body tensed, but he didn't move an inch. Principal Jennings stared him down. I did what I had to do to protect my family. You were just collateral damage. But believe it or not, I see quite a bit of myself in you. Like hell. First you break into my home, now my office. Each time I had something you wanted, it was your job to take it, right? Why? Because you wanted to get ahead, or because you wanted to make a better life for the ones you care about. Sorry guys, my father came. I will start this. No, flinched like Principal Jennings had hit him, and a slow slime spread across the principal's face. Without thinking, I scope up. No is nothing like you. He is a better person than you'll ever be. Had reason to do what he did. Mason was right back at Kevin. You sit on your high horse and judge everyone else, but you can't see your own mistakes. You are preying on your students' anxiety about getting into good college and their parents' ability to pay. What type of educator are you? The truthful kind. If you want to be babied, you go back to nursery school. In the real world, the best thing in life aren't free. They are paid for in blood, sweat, and tears, but nobody said they had to be your own. Principal Jennings stepped in front of Mason, and the two men stared at each other, eye to eye. It's a lesson I had thought I taught my son, but clearly it hasn't sunken in yet. I'm not sure it ever will. I am thinking for myself these days. Are you? Because I told you about the admission and you couldn't wait to run to your part-time girlfriend about it. Sounds like you're just under new identity. Miss Price, I'm curious. Did you put him up to this? Addie didn't. Aha. You focus on holding yourself up without a spin. Leave the thinking to us vertebrates. Principal Jennings stepped in front of me, standing over me with his full height. Clearly, you were the ringleader. But what I need to know is if anyone else deserves a punishment that fits the crime. I let my eyes wander over our little group. Mason and Non each looked defeated. Emma and Mac looked worried about of their minds. I may have not been the one to orchestrate the haste, but I could find a way to get us out. You're not gonna punish any of us because there's more. We know about the deal you made with No, and we are willing to make the same deal. The same school board will be interested to hear it too. Starting with my mother, the school board vice president. You have got his boss on speed dial. I love that for us. I wouldn't mind being a witness at your trial this time. And with all of us on board, something tells me they'll listen. Of course they will. Everyone loves a story, that good old-fashioned extortion. My blood ran cold in my veins as I tried to process what he meant. What? Extortion, blackmail, that's what it's called when you weasel special treatment out of someone in exchange for keeping their secret. And after all the things you have gotten away with this year, particularly your ties to Illiche and the thousands of dollars that went missing, I've got more than enough to make you all accessories. You tell on me, and I'll tell you all down with me. Principal Jennings shot a quirky smile at Avaz as her face drained of color. Still wanna call mommy? From my other side, Mac gripped my hand. Addie, what else you got? Because if you don't pull a rabbit out of her hat soon, we are toast. Maybe you should have thought of that before joining the losing side. Principal Jennings came to stop in front of Ava, and for the first time, it was like he was looking straight through her. Especially you. You would have a great future with or without my help, with or without my son. Instead, you threw it all away for her. I met his eyes, cold and unwavering. What is it that makes you so special, Miss Price? I like to think it's my charm. A certain sass voice. I seem to have an effect on people. Maybe, but what you don't have is a leadership skills. You lost control of your mission and now your crew has failed, and their punishment will all be your fault. How do you think Ava's parents are going to react when they hear about baby's first robbery? Or your father when he hears that his children are in trouble again? Then again, what did they expect letting their children hang around such a bad influence? It's no wonder all your friends are losers. They are taking their cues from you. You know what? No, I don't know. So why don't you enlighten me? Give Principal Jennings a piece of my mind. A piece of my mind. Let's see. Because I really want to give him a ad for it. You're pretty comfortable slinging insults for someone who's only alive thanks to us. Dad may have stayed back to take care of you. But if we hadn't made that run for the ambulance, you had still be spilling brains matter all over your expensive food. So if I were you, I'd start with thank you. And then you can work your way up to the groveling we really deserve. Principal Jennings' eyes narrowed, and the vein on his temples throbbed. If you think those words will ever leave my lips, you're crazy. I'm not crazy, I just have nothing to lose. You're the one who's boxed me into a corner. So don't act surprised when I come out swinging. It's the fighter in me, in all of us. I looked around the room at my crew. Together, we had driven through a snowstorm, tackled an icy mountain in the dark, and lived to tell the story. We had lost and afraid then too, but together we had pulled through. So why should this moment be any different? Addie's right. If you wanna go through one of us, you're gonna have to go through all of us. Starting with me, and me, and me. All around the room, the confidence was returning. I just needed to give it a boost. You foolish children, how dare you talk to me like this? I am in charge here. All the while, Principal Jennings was slowly unraveling. It was the perfect time to pull on the threads. You may think you run this place with an iron fist, but if we aren't afraid of you, right? Right, Mason? I looked at Mason and jerked my head in Principal Jennings' direction. Now's your chance to tell him how you really feel. Don't hold back. After waiting this long, not a chance. Mason met his father's gaze, and I watched as he squared his shoulders and rose to his full height. What could you possibly have to say to me? You pathetic. This is the last time you'll ever call me out of my name. I am not pathetic, I am not useless, I am not weak, and most importantly, I am not you. It took me a while to realize, but if you really think of me as your extension, then it's not me that you have so much contempt for. It's you. Principal Jennings just stared, his eyes burning with fury. This is the most idiotic thing I have ever heard. Maybe, but either way, I am done letting you define me. From now on, I define myself. We'll see about that. No, you won't. You may have won this battle, but we will win the war. Because no matter what happens today, I am bringing you down. And considering me take our cues from her, I guess that means we are two. So, how's it feel to get a taste of your own medicine? To get owned by a pack of losers? This is how you operate, right? Getting into people's head. How's it feel knowing I have got a foothold in yours? Not nearly as good as it's going to feel when I am through with you. Still, we stared at him impassively, and I watched the moment doubt crept into his eyes. Principal Jennings was only comfortable with power when he ruled over at a person's mind, but without fear, he couldn't touch us. Or so I thought. Slowly, Principal Jennings' face morphed from anger to rage, and the hairs along the back of my neck stood straight up. Easy, the doctor said you shouldn't get overexcited. It's bad for your heart. Yeah, wouldn't want to pop your brand new ticker. Don't you dare infantilize me. You disseminated Principal Jennings. It's the pacifier fits. You might as well suck it, you big baby. Well, thank you very much for that rousing insight. And I meant every word. How noble, Miss Price. But you'll find that this is my domain. Here, I have the last words. He paced in front of us, eyes scanning from one to the next. And I think I finally know what to do with you all. Principal Jennings' eyes drilled into me, and a slow smirk stretched across his face. Starting with you. Well, what can he possibly do? I can be disturbed, mentally traumatized, or whatever, but he can't control my life in his hands. And this was all for chapter 85. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will surely make a note of it that you don't get Principal Jennings hard back. You will get hard back. But this was it. Thanks for watching it with me till end. Bye bye. See you soon.